grand rising, gods and goddesses, gods and the earth, kings, queens, emperors, empress, Christians, Catholics, Muslims, Jehovah's Witness, Buddhists, agnostics, atheists, Scientologists, whatever you believe. Grand rising, welcome to Morning Vibes. Sorry, I haven't been on for 2 weeks. I do apologize for my inconsistency. I do hope you forgive me. Today we're going to talk about indoctrination, okay? That's what's happening to our children. That's what happened to us in the past. And that is still what's going on. Now, we are being indoctrinated, especially our children, through the education system. They're not taught to think, but they're taught to know certain things, historical facts, in a certain light that makes the people in power look good. We have to really teach our children the truth. I really try all the time. Sometimes I'm probably too upfront and frank and honest with my children, but that's the only way I see we can fight the programming that is going on in these schools, because a lot of these schools aren't teaching the truth. Like the easiest one we could talk about is that murder, rapist, foul, nasty son bitch, Christopher Columbus. Now, they always try to make it seem that he discovered America. The old song, I believe it goes, Chicago, in 1942, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and blah, 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 blah. And what they don't talk about is how he got there. Which you have to understand, there were a group of people called the Moors. They had already been around the world. They had made maps. They had sailed and did the whole thing. They had been to America and back to Africa. And they don't talk about that. Why? Because if you keep telling people that something happens as a child, they'll believe it as they get older. Okay? So there was something I had to work with my children about Christopher Columbus, because once I found out, years ago, that Columbus didn't discover America, I can't believe that no more. But they are being indoctrinated to believe such things. And it's dangerous because it keeps the image and the myth that white people have discovered everything, that they have done everything first, which is a bold-faced lie. And this hurts our children because it crushes their confidence and makes them think that they need white people to achieve great things. We have to fight against that. It's very dangerous. They not only in education, where they get their history, but they also do it in religion. And to me, that's even more dangerous. Now, a lot of people know I left the church. I no longer believe in Christianity. People that still do, I don't fight against them. I don't hate them. I still love people. However, we have been indoctrinated in that too, in the way that we think everything from Africa is evil. Every spiritual system is from evil. Every type of belief or some type of knowledge is evil. Why? Because we sat in the pews and we were told these things and we believed them. And for years and years and years and years, and even me, I'm not gonna lie, this is before I started studying on my own, which you should, but I didn't study on my own. I thought that Jesus was white. I'll be honest with you, I thought that, his birthday was on the 25th of December for years and years and years. And then I started studying on my own. And it's pretty much common sense to figure out that he's not white. But the way they indoctrinate you, just not through in the church, but through history about Jesus and Christmas, you overlook the simple stuff, okay? He was born in Nazareth. That's in Africa, okay? He might not have been like black, like dark black, but he was a man of color. They described him as a man with woolly hair, okay, and he said that his feet was like burnt bronze. That is the image of a man that has color. But when you constantly see, the movies, The Passion of Christ, where he's white, where every image you see of him is white, and indoctrinates you, and you start to believe that he is white. And then they go further by when you say he's not white, and then you show them the scripture where they say he's not white, they say, well, it doesn't matter. But then you always got to ask them, well, if it doesn't matter, why is it in the book? Things like that. All these things that blacks have invented, they don't talk about that except for February. We have to be careful when our children come home from school that we have to deprogram their programming, okay? We have to, because they're being indoctrinated that white is the best thing in the world. That it's the strongest, it's the most beautiful, it's the greatest, it's the smartest, which is not true. They try to put a monopoly on these things so you feel inferior to help them feel superior. And now your children, they believe in themselves, but not like they should, not like fully they should. Okay? Because it's a math thing. They've been indoctrinated. They've been told that they stand for the flag. I told my children, you don't stand for the national anthem. We all know the third verse and what it talks about. It talks about killing slaves that wanted to be free. It was written by Francis Scott Key. He was a slave owner. He was an anti-abolitionist. Abolitionist. I can't say it, but he didn't like the fact that people wanted slaves to be free. He hated it. See, people don't talk about that, but they want you to stand for a flag that was never meant for us. We have to teach our children and some of these grown folk so they don't be indoctrinated. The whole thing with Christmas, I break that down for you for the one time. Christmas is just a holiday that they made up, okay? We can go back, if you want to look at it, they want to say Jesus was born in December. He couldn't have. People say, well, why? Well, when farmers are taking care of their animals, especially in the winter, they don't let them out at night because it's too cold. Now you got to remember, when the angel came to the farmer, he was outside tending to his sheep at night. If it was in December, he would have not been outside. He would have been inside. He'd have been in the barn, but he was outside. So that lets you know it had to be in between. It had to be either spring, summer, or fall because he was outside. But we are indoctrinated to believe that the 25th of December is Christmas, when actually it's the winter solstice. That's what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is the winter solstice. And also, it celebrates Nimrod. If you don't know who Nimrod is, look him up. He was a nasty dude. The whole idea of putting things on the tree and putting presents under the tree, that whole thing comes from Nimrod. And that's what we're doing. Hell, Saint Nick is a saint in the Catholic religion. But we are indoctrinated to believe these things, not knowing that we're celebrating the winter solstice. Now, if you just want to celebrate the winter solstice, then fine, do that. But just say that. But understand that you've been misled, you've been lied to. We can talk about Haiti. We've been lied to about Haiti. Haiti is basically got decimated. And people say, oh, well, they sold their souls to the devil. No, that's not what happened. What happened was the reason why Haitians speak French, because they were ruled by the French. They were ruled by France. Okay, so they started the revolution, the Haiti Revolution, and they did that by first having a voodoo ceremony, a ritual, and because we've been so indoctrinated that the voodoo has been villainized. It's this horrible thing to do. It's just ungodly. It's the devil, right? That's what we're told. So we believe because they did that, well, not me anymore, but people believe that because they did a voodoo ceremony before they revolted, they sold their soul to the devil, and that's why they won. No, they won because they did what they had to do to get France out of there. They got France out of there with no help from any European government. So what did the Europeans do? They said, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to make you pay back all the money the French has lost for you kicking them out. And that's why Haiti's broke, because they're basically being penalized for kicking out their oppressor. You get what I'm saying? And this is how they indoctrinate us, by telling us these things. You know, they'll tell you off top that Egypt is just like this horrible place. But if you look in the Bible, it said that Egypt would be our sister. You know, they say the third eye is just this horrible thing. No, the third eye is a gland right here in the middle of your forehead that produces melanin. Okay, so it's usually called the pine cone gland, because it's very small and it's shaped like a pine cone. Okay, it's called the pineal gland. The pineal gland. It's a gland. It's called the third eye because it regulates. Not only does it regulate melanin, but it's very strong when it comes to spiritual things. That's why, as African Americans, for lack of better terms, we are very spiritual people, because we have a highly active pineal gland. But see, you've been told that the third eye is a witch's tool and we shouldn't use it. You get what I'm saying? We think like the Ankh is this pagan symbol, when really it symbolizes life. That's what it's meant to symbolize. It symbolizes life, but we don't get that because we've been indoctrinated to believe that these things are just horrible. Just like we were indoctrinated to believe that Malcolm X was just this violent man. No, Malcolm X preached defense, defend yourself, protect yourself, which is fine, which is basically your God-given right to protect yourself. And people didn't like that. That's why they like Martin Luther King to a certain point, because Martin Luther King preached non-violence. But what was the purpose of his non-violent marches? Simple: to prove that in the South, white people didn't like black people just because. All we gotta do is march through these areas. He picked where he wanted to march. He picked Selma because he knew they had a zero tolerance for blacks. So he marched through there to say, all we gotta do is walk through here and watch what happened. And what happened, exactly what he knew would happen. That they would beat him down. He didn't fight back, because if he did, then it would look like they started. He knew that the media, even back then, the media would twist it and make it seem like it was his fault. But what they don't tell you is that he started to become increasingly militant. Okay? That he started talking about money. That he knew that there was no way in the world, no way in hell, as a people, as a community, we could rebuild ourselves without money. He knew about the Farm Act, where billions of dollars were given to whites so they can rebuild their land, and we were given nothing. He knew that integration was a mistake, because he even said himself that when he signed on papers, he felt like he had marched his people to a burning building. But see, they won't tell you that. They want to use Martin Luther King to keep you docile, keep you quiet. They want you to suffer peacefully with a smile on your face. But you're being indoctrinated to do that, because when they wanted their freedom from the King of England, or the Queen of England, they wanted their freedom from England, what did they do? They had the Boston Tea Party, baby. Just start throwing tea, get this tea out of here. We ain't paying no goddamn taxes, just throw the tea in the goddamn river. Get it out of here. Oh yeah, y'all want to lock people up and tax them for no reason? We're going to break them out too. We're going to steal some bread. We're going to fill our people. We're going to burn shit down. And we're going to go to war to y'all with y'all red coat sons of bitches until we get our freedom. And that's exactly what they did. But when we burn stuff down, when we decide to fight back, when we tell y'all to kiss our ass, we ain't going to take it no more. Y'all want to say we violent. Y'all want to say we could do this in a more peaceful way. No. Because I don't see America being peaceful for shit. Y'all killed Saddam. Okay? Y'all killed Gaddafi. Y'all killed Bin Laden. Y'all kill anybody that's a threat to y'all. I don't see y'all marching over there talking about, over in North Korea, talking about don't bomb us. Don't bomb us. I don't see y'all giving out these powerful ass speeches without fighting. No, y'all blow shit up all the time. Let's keep it real. But then again, this is indoctrination. We are being indoctrinated to believe that what they do is right and everything we do is wrong. That we are supposed to be grateful for the things we got, even though they treat us like shit. No, I don't teach my kids that. I don't tell my brothers that. I don't tell my sisters. I don't tell nobody that. I don't believe that. You can't talk me into believing that shit, because We got to get out of it, because that's why they do what they do. Like, all right, check it out. This is how they indoctrinate us. This is how they play the game, right? When George Bush's last 4 years, his last term, right? Let's be honest. It wasn't just blacks. It was whites too. But we was ready to pop off. We was tired of the shit. Everything was going to hell, and we no longer wanted to deal with it. Especially the blacks. We was like, man, fuck this dude. He don't give a fuck about us. We done had Hurricane Katrina. He done let our folk drown. So we gotta make something happen. I felt that. You know, and I wasn't even really in tune with frequencies and energies, but I felt that change. The whole world felt that change. Everybody felt that change. Who gets elected after Bush? Barack Obama. He talks about hope. We fell for that. We stopped what was in motion and fell for that. While he was in office for 8 years. 8 years. There still was police brutality. He never really addressed that. Flint happened on his watch. Nothing happened. He bailed out Wall Street, the big three, the ones that was too big to fail. But we were just happy to have a black man in office. We fell for it. We got indoctrinated real quick. Ooh, they gave us something what we wanted. Nah, they just gave you something pretty to look at. Meanwhile, you still getting screwed over. We were indoctrinated to believe that he was the change. We fell for that. His whole thing was hope and yes, we can. Nothing's changed. And that's due to us being indoctrinated and believing once they got in there we was good, instead of forcing the issues and holding him accountable and responsible. We have to stop the indoctrination of our children and our peers. Okay? Because they really still believe that America's great and we got it good. We do not have it good. Just because we have a few people that's successful, a few millionaires, a few success stories, we're not good. We're nowhere near good. We're very far from good. As a group, we're doing bad. That's the problem. We've been told if one's doing good, then everybody can do good. That's not true. We have been indoctrinated so much to the fact that we really believe that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves out of moral obligation. That is a fucking lie. Okay? He said it himself. If he could save the Union without freeing the slaves, he would. It wasn't a moral obligation. It was more due to economics, and people would say, "Oh, there was only like maybe 1% of slave owners." Yes, there was maybe 1% of slave owners, but look how much power they had. When capitalism comes power, you can only have capitalism when you exploit people. You don't get capitalism without exploitation and without power. It comes with that. But people don't understand that. So they truly been indoctrinated to believe that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. And then they say, oh, well, once he freed them, it was all on y'all. They don't talk about, the black codes. How the Reconstruction of the Reconstruction era where blacks started being successful, and they was like, oh, hell no, not on our watch. So even though the Italians didn't like the Irish, it was like, this job right here is whites only. And then they had a law that if you wasn't working, you went to jail. So you have black people that can't work because they can't get the job because the job's white only, so you throw them in jail. Thus you have the prison industrial complex. Boom! There you have it. We've been indoctrinated that slavery's over. It's not. 13th Amendment says you cannot be involuntarily, which means can't nobody walk up to you and say, get your ass over here and get to work for the free. No. Once you commit a crime, you are duly convicted of a crime, that ass is a slave. You working for free in the jail system. That's why it's part of the economics in America. You have to understand it. But then again, we just believe that people go to jail just for being bad. Now, granted, there are people in jail that deserve to be in jail. That goes without saying. But how in the world do we have so many jails? Like, somebody got to explain that. Well, you ain't gotta explain, but think about it. North Korea has a bigger population than us. I think it's North Korea. But they have less people in jail. You do the math. You figure that out. But we've been indoctrinated, folks. And we need to get off that. We need to understand that these are lies. I know y'all don't want to believe it. I know y'all want to believe racism is over. It's not. It's never been. This is not a post-racial America. It's racist as hell. Always has been. And you think slavery's over? Look at Libya. And America don't give a shit. Trump don't give a shit. Hell, half of us don't give a shit. Half of us don't even know about Libya. But this is after they killed Muammar Gaddafi. But that's a whole nother thing to talk about. That's probably an hour worth of talk. But I'm gonna get to that, I promise. But think about that. Think about that. We are being indoctrinated. And we have to stop it. Do your research, look it up yourself. Even if I tell you something, look it up yourself. So that way, you won't be indoctrinated. You'll actually have some type of knowledge of what's going on. So with that said, I'm out. I really do appreciate you watching the video. Remember, like it, subscribe it, share it. And on Facebook, it is Morning Vibes. It's Morning by itself, and then Vibes Public. Okay, remember Morning space Vibes Public. That's how you'll find me on Facebook. And there you have it. So please leave any remarks, any comments that you have. Again, I need you to do those 3 steps. Like, subscribe, share. Say it with me. Like, subscribe, share. Let's try to get this thing up to 100 views and 100 subscribers. Let's do that. Let's do that in 2018. Let's get up to the 100. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a bean. Let's get to 100. But with that said, I'm out. Love, peace, power to the people.